Hello there. Today I would like to talk about snowshoes. Snowshoes are one of those things that everybody knows about, but very few people understand. I will begin with a brief overview. Snowshoes are quite an old bit of technology, dating back at least 20,000 years, probably more. The earliest snowshoes were just a simple rounded board that was strapped to the feet, before evolving into the modern form of a wooden frame interlaced with rawhide webbing. The webbing is preferable to a solid board or a solid sheet of rawhide for a number of reasons. It provides better grip and it's easier to repair, but most importantly, it allows any snow that you might scoop up by mistake to sift down through the webbing. Without this, you would have to lift a great weight of snow every step. The toe of the snowshoe is slightly upturned. This makes it less likely to catch on any lumps. The last notable characteristic is the tail. This is designed to drag on the ground. In dragging, it prevents the heel from getting stuck in the ground. Now, you've all heard the story about how snowshoes were designed to emulate the rabbit's foot, distributing your weight over a wider surface and allowing you to walk across the surface of the crusted snow without breaking through. Growing up, I never had much patience for them. They're heavy and awkward and hard to walk in. And thanks to global bloody warming, here in South Ontario, it's only in the snowdrifts that the snow is deeper than a few inches. And on the rare occasion that the snow is deep enough that I might like some snowshoes, it also tends to be too light and powdery for them to work as prescribed. So while snowshoes can be very useful crossing over snowdrifts or frozen creeks, I never really found them useful enough to offset the general inconvenience of them. That was until a few years ago when I gave them another try. In using them, I've discovered some benefits of snowshoes that are not often reported and have been largely forgotten by the modern world. The first of these is grip. The leather-soled shoes that have been used throughout history are very slippery, particularly on frozen ground. Going for winter walks in historical footwear, I've found that there are certain slopes that are simply impossible to walk up, and I've wiped out more times than I can count. Snowshoes, for all their awkwardness, do not have this problem. The huge surface area and the rawhide webbing give you a terrific amount of grip and traction. And once you figure out how to use them appropriately, you can get up quite steep slopes without too much difficulty. This added grip is useful not only when going up slopes, but on slippery terrain in general. Everybody knows that a sheet of ice can be very dangerous even in modern, grippy footwear. What can be even more dangerous is when there's a sheet of ice hidden underneath the snow and you are unable to prepare yourself. In snowshoes, you aren't likely to slip up unless you trip over your own feet. A bit of extra traction can also be useful when you're doing some lifting and hauling. I remember when I was a kid trying to pull a toboggan full of my siblings and my friends. Sometimes you just don't have enough traction to overcome the inertia of the toboggan, and you end up running on the spot like a Looney Tunes character. The other great benefit of snowshoes is that because of their great size, they make uneven terrain seem like smooth terrain. This is of value in winter, because the snow hides all the ruts and furrows in the ground. For example, the fields where I walk are always torn up come wintertime by the tractors. Water collects and freezes in the bottoms of the furrows. Then the snow comes and fills them in, and then the wind wears down the high spots, making everything look smooth and flat. It can be very treacherous walking in these fields, even in modern footwear, and I've turned my ankle more times than I can count. One time I was out, walking along quite happily, and then I had fallen into a rabbit hole which was completely covered over by snow. I had bent my knee the wrong way. I was in constant pain for the next month. Fun times. Snowshoes, for all their awkwardness, prevent these dangers. The surface area of the snowshoes allows me to just effortlessly glide over the tops of the furrows. Means that for all intents and purposes, those furrows, those rabbit holes might as well be flat ground. One final benefit is that they keep your feet from having direct contact with the snow, making them less likely to soak through when it's a little bit wet. So, in conclusion, snowshoes are useful for more than just walking on the surface of crusted snow. They also make winter travel safer in general. That's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.